Made sure to get that.
Nice. Welcome to Us-SeerNova Comics Podcast. What's the episode, Greg?
119.
Yes, and this one's a special podcast because it's the middle of our virtual expo, the SNCC 22, sponsored by Comics Wellsprings. So yeah, we got a sponsor this year, which is awesome. We've been playing with the little icon in the corner. Can we make that any bigger?
No, that's as big as it can go.
That's crazy. Maybe I'll make a different backdrop in a minute for like when there's
Put the banner comics there. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, put your comics at Comics Wellsprings. They're awesome. We've been working with them for a few years now, and it was cool because they actually reached out to us in interest for this, sponsorship. So very excited. Trying to think of maybe I'll play with something else. Maybe I'll make a different icon and make it bigger. But I do like them up in the corner there. They look cool. So Greg, what is our discussion topics today?
So we have a couple things. So first off, we're changing our podcast to be starting next year. We're changing our podcast to be a bi-weekly podcast because we're busy and we're doing other things. So it's going to be every 2 weeks, every month. Yeah, as long as we can do that. That way we can get a guest secured and all that other stuff and make sure that people stay on top of things. It's still going to come out on Wednesdays at noon, new episodes, but we're just doing it every 2 weeks because we have lives and we want to do other things. So. Another cool thing is next year we have a couple things happening, but the only thing I'm announcing during this is Seer Chronicles 3 is coming out next year, and it'll be on Kickstarter. I don't have a date for Kickstarter yet. I'm not gonna even say that yet, but don't want to tease too early. But I was gonna have a cover, but Hector somehow lost power or whatever, so we couldn't finish the cover.
You want to show the old
one? We can.
The first draft.
Yeah, which I have to find that somewhere.
We should show the first draft just because, if people like it, maybe we can have some variant covers down the line.
Yeah, but I don't even have to find that. Yeah. So the third actually picks up right after the second one, directly after it. So if you haven't read the first or second one, you could pick that up on our web store, which I have a QR code that I can actually share.
It's interesting though, based on how it's written, you could probably still enjoy it on its own, but you'll definitely have way more context with the previous two stories.
Yeah. First off, where's the overlay? There's the overlay. So this cover was this is the old cover. And then Hector's like, nah, I got a better idea. But
so whatever we're about to show you, just understand that this is the terrible version, the worst version you'll ever see.
That's what he had as an idea for one of them. And obviously that's not going to be the cover. But yeah, so this guy is batshit insane. That's Matthew Harding. And his villain arc completely comes out in the third one. So can't wait for that.
So anyone's been following along and seen this crazy little guy.
Yeah. There's going to be a couple new characters.
Involved in shenanigans.
There's some new characters that are in the third one. This is one of them. It's actually my character.
I just realized, are you pointing with your mouse and you said this one?
Oh, yeah. So the dude on the bike is
top
my
right,
character.
I'm like, he said this one, and I'm like, I know which one you're talking about. They don't know what you're talking about.
So yeah, there's the guy on the bike. He's a completely new character to the series, and he pretty much is in the rest of the series after that. Then there's a couple other ones that are minor characters that are in the background that somewhat play a part in the story. Yeah, so it takes place after the second one. The Detective Silva dude that was in the second one, he's not in it as much because we focus more on crazy mofo that's, on the bottom of that cover right there. Definitely not for kids. So if like you have like a kid, probably shouldn't read
But you
this.
couldn't tell by the little mess on the
Blood
bottom
and-
of the screen.
It's definitely rated mature because we rate our comics how video games are rated. But yeah,
Because they do it better.
they do. Yeah, so if you want to hear about the other things we're going to be announcing, like other
Or if
comics
you
and
want
stuff,
to build a snowman.
yeah, that's after this panel segment thing, whatever our podcast. We're going to be talking about that stuff. But you can actually use this QR code, and first off, I probably have to get rid of this ticker tape thing. You can scan this code, and you can actually go to our indie store and check out merch. And then if you want to buy a comic, there's only a few on there, but there's actually Mittens issue 1. I actually put that up on there the other day, or like yesterday or something like that. So you can actually scan this with your phone, and it'll take you to the website that is not broke anymore. And finally, if you want to subscribe to Nova Nation, you can scan this code, and you can either pick the basic or the Seer supporter one, which is the first paid one, or the premium one. Premium one doesn't have anything super special yet, but it will, in time. So yeah. So that's basically Seer Chronicles 3 stuff and our website. We talked about the schedule change. And there's another thing that we're going to be starting next year. It's mostly just me using Restream. There's a thing called SeerNova TV, and we're actually going to be taking our old stuff. So we have like so much content from like just a year ago. We did like a shit ton of stuff. So we have a breakfast talk, brunch bulletin, and stuff like that. I'm actually gonna just like replay those. So some people haven't seen those. I'm gonna replay those, and then that's gonna actually play as like a thing that's gonna just keep going on while I'm sleeping or at work or whatever. And you're muted for some reason.
Oh, I hit the button because he's always sleeping.
And I'm always sleeping. And I'm going to come out with a schedule next year, and then it'll actually like launch the whole SeerNova TV thing. During the day, each day, there will be commercials like trailers, special commercial things like maybe Comics Wellspring will actually like be like, hey, you want to print your comics with Comics Wellspring? Something like that. We're going to do a bunch of stuff like that. Yeah. The new podcast episodes will still play during SeerNova TV because the SeerNova TV thing is going to go on forever after that once it starts. So new episodes of this podcast will still play at the same time. So you can just look forward to that. You could watch
what
that.
Time do we normally release?
It's noon on Wednesdays. Noon Eastern.
Noon Eastern.
Eastern.
Island.
Eastern. Yeah, we'll have a little like TV guide thing that I'm gonna make up, or maybe Dylan will because he's a little better at graphic design. And then we'll show what it is for each week or the month or something like that. And yeah, that's what we're gonna be doing. We only have so many episodes of each podcast, so this podcast, that's what we'll start off as is like this podcast, like episode 1, and there's 100 and something episodes. So like we can like replay this during the entire year, and it won't get stale. But yeah, so we have to somehow do that.
Yeah.
Breakfast Talk only has like 40 episodes or something like that.
Yeah.
So I gotta like spread those out somehow. But that's definitely a thing that's happening next year because I thought it was a really cool idea, and other people have their own kind of like network things. but I don't think anybody's doing exactly like that. So it's pretty cool. It's mostly just people's podcasts, and even though those are podcasts, they're old things that people haven't seen before.
Yeah, which by the way, if you want to have like a comic book trailer sprinkled in there, reach out to us.
Yeah.
We can definitely do like, obviously we're working on getting sponsors for stuff. If you want to have like a comic book trailer, or if your Kickstarter's coming up and you've got a video trailer for it, things like that. That's content that we would like to be able to put up on there, so that this is like a channel people can constantly stop by.
Yeah, that's all of that. And I thought that was going to take longer to talk about, but
that's okay. We started this one late anyways. It worked out perfect.
And finally, next year, we're also going to be doing Comic-Cons.
Oh.
What? Hey, Charlie. Drugs. So we have no idea what Comic-Cons we're going to do yet, but we should probably sign up for some soon. There is one that I might do because it's in Saratoga and it's not that far away.
Yeah, definitely. If you happen to host small conventions, volunteer at local conventions, anywhere basically between Tennessee and New York, and anywhere along that route, we're definitely looking to go to some places, bring our comics places, and because we work with so many creators, Greg has collected a large amount of other comics as well that we can bring to these conventions and showcase others that are on the platform, and connect with creators all across the country. So obviously we have creators on the platform from different countries, different continents, right? So it'd be great to get some exposure for them in the States as well. So if you guys know of anything that we should be stopping by, let us know.
Yeah. I'm guessing Ohio is probably going to be a spot, just because I know so many people that live in Ohio, and it's kind of in the middle of both. So
yeah,
most likely going to be one. And I know a few that are in Ohio. So yeah, so that's basically our spiel for next year. I don't really have anything else to talk about because I thought that was going to be way longer.